Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio. You're listening to Nelson Radio. This segment brought to you by Insurance Incorporated.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio, heard right here on KTLK AM 1150. We're broadcasting remote, and we're out at the Pacific Palisades project brought to you by Lantana Development. John Dudzinsky is the CEO and founder of the development company and has carved out 5 beautiful homes that are now just being introduced to the marketplace. We're at one of those that's the first to be released. You have to see this property. It's a fantastic home right at 15201 Bester Boulevard in Pacific Palisades. Marco, they call this the Alphabet Streets?
They do. They call it the Alphabet Streets because the streets above Bester Boulevard, they go in alphabetical order. And that is the reason why they call it the Alphabet Streets. And this particular property is on Bester. The Bester is the upper Alphabet Streets and is the prime area of the Alphabets, which is fantastic. And this one being at 15201 Bester.com.
John, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Nelson. I'm happy to be here.
So tell me, I want to get a peek behind the curtain of going back. You saw this property or this land, this parcel become available. What was here before?
There was a church here. It was a Christian Science church, and I saw the property. It consisted of 2 parcels. One was about 7,300 square feet in size, and the one next to it was about 30,000 square feet in size, and the church and the school stretched over both parcels. I reckoned I could subdivide the big parcel into 4 other parcels, about 7,300 square feet in size. So I did that, and now we have 5 parcels with 5 houses.
In 7,300 square feet in Pacific Palisades, I mean, that's a nice-sized lot, right?
In the Alphabet Streets and in Pacific Palisades, it's actually a very gracious lot, where John had the foresight in saying, look, I'm going to buy this big parcel, and I'm going to subdivide it. Where a lot of other people, they looked at this parcel and they said, I'm going to purchase this property at this number and not subdivide it and maybe build one home.
A visionary.
Massive vision.
So let me ask you, John, when you saw this parcel, you have the same battle. I know that in your development career, which stretches across a vast number of years, you have a longtime veteran to the industry. You have resistance that can come from the community. And what Marco shared with me before you got into the subdivision here and going through the subdivision process, that you invited the community to participate.
I did. I talked to the neighbors. I talked to the community associations. I met with them. There was an option here to turn this into a school, and nobody liked that option. And everybody I talked to was more than happy to have homes built here as opposed to a school. And the neighbors were all cooperative. I didn't have any negatives, and so it went very smoothly. And we were very lucky that we had sellers who were very smart and very willing to work with the developer to give him a little time to make sure that he wouldn't get a lot of resistance on the subdivision.
You know, the great thing, Nelson, what they did here was that they allowed John to do his due diligence for some period of time, and they allowed him to explore every aspect of what he could do with the property. And what he did was he invested in trying to explore what the community thought should be here.
Right.
No one really thought that a school being here was a great idea, if it was or if it was not. So they adopted the idea that he was going to subdivide this property,
right,
and that he was going to build these beautiful homes.
When did you first look at the property?
I first looked at it in 2010, and I finally purchased it in February of 2011. And it took about a year to complete the subdivision and begin the construction.
I got to take my hat off to him regarding the subdivision, because having a property of this scale, having a parcel, one parcel of this scale, and then being able to subdivide it into 5 parcels is an extremely difficult process. And he was able to complete that process.
Well, and there's some of the insight of John Dudzinsky, the CEO of Lantana Development, and you're listening to Nelson Radio. You can contact us direct. Find out more about these properties by contacting us at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. I'm also with my co-host Marco Rufo from Pacific Palisades, and one of the founts of real estate knowledge right here in the Palisades area.
Thank you, Nelson.
The founts. So when you saw this property, I've got to ask a question, because we've been talking about risk versus reward and where it's appropriate to take risk and appropriate rewards, but you're right on the heels of the Great Recession, right on the heels of the mortgage meltdown. When you start looking at this property, it's before real estate had gone through this most recent surge. Was it a nervy decision? Were you concerned that maybe it was premature to bring more property to market?
It was somewhat of a nervy decision, but I felt that the tide was about ready to turn. I hadn't been able to get a real estate loan between 2008 and 2012.
They didn't exist, yeah.
They didn't exist.
They did not, yeah.
But in 2012, I got 2 pretty substantial real estate loans to build properties with 2 different lenders. One was U.S. Bank, one was California Bank and Trust. And I was very lucky to know that I had a good team. I had Clark Remington to design the houses.
Right.
I had Ron Stevenson to build them. I had Pam Stevenson to do the interior decorations.
Nice.
I had Amy Miller to stage them. I had California Bank and Trust to finance them.
Right.
And finally, I had Marco Rufo, whom I know can sell them for good prices. So I was lucky, and because I had a good team, I had a lot of confidence.
You know, take me out of the equation, Marco Rufo out of the equation, okay? He had the foresight to purchase those homes at that particular moment in history. And that particular moment in history was very volatile.
Well, it was
We did not
riddled
know-
with uncertainty. Sure.
We did not know where the community or the market was going. And he had the foresight to say, you know what, I'm going to put my foot forward, I'm going to take it down. And his first initial reaction might have been these particular homes that he had built in this particular area might have been at a different number completely. But could he reach that number with this performer? Might be a whole different story. And then the market surged from after that, and it went all in his favor, and deservingly so, because you know what, he was the pioneer that was willing to put his foot forward and do that.
So with his first home at 15201 Bester Boulevard, it's a Cape Cod style. I want to hear from the builder, the vision, what you thought, and now that you see the finished product.
It's even better than I envisioned. Clark Remington and Ron Stevenson and I sat down, and we together designed the houses. We had many, many meetings, and the final product in each of these 5 houses turned out to me to be even better than I could have envisioned with Clark's great designs.
With Clark Remington, in our next segment, we're going to bring him on and understand a little bit more about that vision that he had, the design quality, some of the appointments that he selected, and how that all came together with bringing these properties to the market.
Absolutely, Nelson. And I wanted to echo some comments when he was saying that, and I will save my comments to one Clark sitting in front of us.
Perfect.
And I can make those comments.
It's great to see these homes come to market. I've walked through the property, and it does have a lot of intrigue, a lot of design elements. I can tell you in my career, which stretches across 3 decades, John, I've seen a lot of homes and a lot of custom homes and a lot of, who would have thunk? What were they thinking when they designed this property? And as I went from room to room, and I saw transition, and I saw how the design flow from one room to the next.
This particular home that's built right here, right now, 15201 Bester Boulevard, you have to understand it's for a family. And you have to have practicalities in the build.
And we're going to.
And these geniuses did that.
And we're going to explore that as we bring the architect back onto the program. Stay with us. We're exploring the 5 new homes in Pacific Palisades on Bester Boulevard. The first at 15201 Bester Boulevard, brought to you by John Dudzinsky, the CEO of Lantana Development Company. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Nelson Radio. This segment brought to you by Insurance Incorporated. Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades, direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.